I just got back home from a walk with my friend Caro. We went and got a green juice and then we went on a nice long walk. I love a good morning walk, especially now that the weather and the temperature is nice in the morning. It's quite lovely to get the day started. But I am hungry because I didn't get to have breakfast before the walk. So we're gonna be making some sirniki, which are Eastern European farmer's cheese pancakes. I actually grew up eating farmer's cheese a lot. There's a lot of Romanian desserts that use farmer's cheese. As you can tell by the title, we are having a 2-3 day what I eat in a couple days video. I'll be sharing all of the things, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, especially because as the weather is starting to get nicer out, I'm actually kind of hot wearing this. As the weather is getting nicer out, I just want to eat different things than I did when it was colder. Quick, easy, high protein, yummy, delicious, etc. So let's start with breakfast. This recipe comes together really quickly because all you have to do is mix the farmer's cheese in a bowl with 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of sugar. I added some of this vanilla sugar that I got in Romania. If you don't have that, you can use just vanilla extract and maybe a little bit extra sugar. And then I started with 2 tablespoons of flour, but my farmer's cheese was super wet. So I had to keep adding more and more flour. However, it wasn't really helping and it was still quite wet. Should be able to shape this dry, shaggy dough into a long log and then cutting it with your knife so you make very nicely cut and shaped pancakes. I ended up just shaping it by hand and plopping it in the pan. It still worked out. However, the texture wasn't as it was supposed to in the traditional recipe. So I will continue to look for a good brand of farmer's cheese that is more dry. But these still turned out really good, super tasty, and the perfect amount for both Yin and I to have between 3 to 4 pancakes each. All right, here are my little farmer's cheese. Listen, I know these don't look great, but my farmer's cheese was like too wet. The inside.
Is that kind of good at the same time?
Oh, these are very good. These remind me so much of my childhood. That flavor, that like sweet but sour cheese flavor. I'm just gonna add some jam on mine. Once the podcast was done, I started on lunch, and this was one of my favorite recipes from this video. I started out by just seasoning some chicken thighs, patting them dry, adding all my seasonings, plus some leftover pesto I found in the fridge. And you actually don't even need that much pesto to add so much flavor to your protein. I feel like if you get bored of the usual chicken seasonings, adding a little bit of pesto to it, it will still make such a difference and add a bit of fun flavor to it. Now for the star of the show, we're making a fennel citrus burrata salad. I am obsessed with my mandolin, so I've been using it for basically every single salad that I've been making because it makes it so easy to slice your vegetables. But if you don't have a mandolin, you can also use a knife, of course. For my oranges, I just carved away all of the skin and the pith and I sliced each one individually. I chopped up some pistachios, just roughly chopped. I dressed the fennel with some lemon juice, orange zest, and olive oil and salt. And you just want to mix it with your hand to really marinate it. And then you just plate the salad. As you can see, it's super easy. It comes together quite quickly. This kind of looks like a restaurant salad, which I'm really big on. And I really think you guys need to try this recipe because it looks fancy, it tastes fancy, but it is so easy to put together. So I hope you guys try it and let me know what you think because since then I have already made it twice. Okay, so this recipe is definitely much more of like a grilling, if you have a grill at home type of recipe, in the sense that it's just family style. So we have like the big salad and the big chicken. If you had like a barbecue or grilling on the roof or in the backyard, like with friends or family, the pesto chicken is like the easiest thing that you could make, honestly. And then this salad to go along with it. Yoni is diving into the salad. I have not yet tried the salad, but is it good?
Wow.
I'm a big advocate for fancy salads at home. And this is the type of salad that you'd absolutely get like at a restaurant or something. And I think I'm not alone when I say that most of the time when we think of a salad, we think of leafy greens. But I think making like a fun restaurant salad, as I would call this, is so much more interesting. Damn, it's really good, you know? And you just eat this family style. Make a bunch of like chicken, or I think chicken works really well with this. I don't know what else you would make with it, but oh my god, the chicken's so good. Just a little bit of pesto on it. It was like leftover pesto. Makes all the difference. This is lunch. Nice, easy. By the time the chicken was done, the salad was done. After my workout and I took a shower, I got started on dinner, and I just cut a bunch of potatoes into a French fry-like shape. You can cut them in any size you want, but this is just better for the experience. And then I drizzled some avocado oil and popped them in the oven. You want to do this the earlier the better, as the potatoes are the thing that takes the longest time out of this recipe. Then I thinly sliced all my veggies for my salad: iceberg lettuce, yellow onion, and for the tomato, I kind of like it chunky, so I usually just do wedges and then half each wedge. I didn't show it in the video, but for the salad, I just dressed it with some olive oil and salt and mixed it with my hand to break down and get everything nice and combined. The burger sauce is optional, but makes it really tasty. I did equal parts of mayo and ketchup with a little bit of vinegar and some nicely minced pickles. Once the potatoes are almost done, you want to get started on forming your burgers, which I usually just take one big pack of ground beef and turn it into 4 even meatballs. And in a preheated, nice and hot pan, I like to cook the meatballs on one side for about 20 seconds and then flip and press them into the pan. If you don't have a grill press, you can use a spatula or anything like that that's flat very easily. And you want to get them as flat as possible so that they get nice and brown, which is where all the flavor is. And then you just flip them and add any type of cheese you like. I like American cheese because it tastes like a true cheeseburger, but you can do anything you'd like and just cover and cook. I had to show you how to make literally my favorite thing recently. This deconstructed burger bowl is just the perfect, I've had a day, kind of a dinner. A side salad of iceberg lettuce, tomatoes, white onions, a little olive oil, and salt. That's it. Under those burger patties, there's all the baked French fries that I made. 2 patties with American cheese, sue me. I think that's the only way that I want my burger. Not cheddar, no fancy, American cheese. Okay? For the first time, made a burger sauce that I'm gonna put on top. It's just like mayo, ketchup, a little extra vinegar, a little bit of sugar, and some chopped up pickles. I'm gonna drizzle it onto it. It's so good. Potatoes. You guys need to make this. Good morning. It's the next day. I'm about to make breakfast and I'm actually so excited to make this because it is perfect for the spring season. Today I think I'm gonna use like the most spring produce. Yesterday, I can't even remember what I made yesterday. It wasn't that spring specific, but we are using asparagus. I know it's breakfast, but trust me. We're using leeks, stick with me, dill, feta cheese, and some of my favorite breakfast sausages, these ones called from Bilinski's, and this is the classic sage breakfast, and all their sausages are really good. I love them. And obviously eggs, and we're gonna be making sort of like a spring veg frittata situation. So let's get into it. We start off by just slicing our veggies. I decided to do only 1 leek and about 10 asparagus. I like to snap off the ends of the asparagus because that's usually when they're really, really hard and they don't really cook well. And then I just line them up and slice them into even-sized, medium thickness coins, if you want to call them. I did just about the same thing with the sausages. And for the feta, I just took a good chunk and then cut it into tiny little cubes and minced the dill so that I can sprinkle it on top of the frittata. Once all your ingredients are ready, you basically just go to town in the pan, and I like to use a stainless steel pan for this. Any oven safe pan will work. You just want to cook your sausages first, and then once those are nice and brown, remove them from the pan and cook down your veggies. While the veggies are cooking, you want to start your egg mixture, which I use 6 eggs. You could probably use 8 depending on how big you're making this. And I also did about 2 tablespoons of whole milk, seasoned with salt and pepper, and poured it over the sausage and veggie mixture, and then adding the feta cheese right on top, sprinkling the dill. And that's basically it. You put it in the oven all ready to go for about 15 to 20 minutes depending on your oven, and you've got the most delicious spring forward veggie feta sausage frittata. Say it again.
Frittata.
Here is my frittata. It smells incredible. It looks incredible. I couldn't be more excited to eat this. And honestly, this would be so good as like a meal prep thing. And then you just have a bunch of these little triangles in the fridge to just heat up. I'm so excited for the first bite. This would be such a nice thing to make for like brunch. Wow, this is very good. The ratio from like all the filling, like the veggies, the sausage, the cheese to egg, I could have probably put like 2 more eggs in here, so instead of 6, 8. So the ratio would have been a little bit better, but it's still very good. You gotta make this. You gotta make the frittata. All right, we are back home and I will be making lunch, but it's kind of like a lunch dinner because it's 5 p.m. I just didn't time it right. So today we got 2 recipes. It is what it is. We munched on some like random things at the coffee shop. I had like a brownie halva, which was very interesting. It was like half brownie, half halva. Had that with my coffee and it was delicious, and I think that kind of like curbed my appetite. So I'm not even hungry yet, but I know by the time this will be ready, I will be hungry. We are making coconut rice with steak and mango salsa. I feel like this is gonna this is gonna hit the spot right now. The mangoes that I have are not quite ready, but I'm praying for like a salsa is gonna work well, because it's gonna still be like, you don't want a salsa to have like mushy mango. So I think this could probably use 1 more day, but I'm gonna try to make it work. As always, you have to rinse your rice. We decided to make 2 cups of rice, so I just put them in my rice cooker bowl and then I just rinse it. I usually like to rinse the rice 3 times until the water runs clear. And then I did 1 full unsweetened coconut milk full fat can, and I did that with 1 cup of water, mixed it all together, added about a teaspoon of salt, and then cooked it on the regular setting because I didn't want to mess with the quick cook just in case. And while the rice is going, I got started on our mango salsa. So I just chopped half a red onion. I try to cut everything pretty similar in size so that everything is nice and cohesive when it becomes a salsa. Because my mango wasn't as ripe as I wish it were, I just added a little bit of sugar. If yours is ripe, you probably wouldn't need the extra sugar. And then I also zested 1 lime, added some olive oil, some salt, and I almost forgot, very, very important, the cilantro. For the protein, I chose to go with steak, and I made it just the usual way, salted on both sides, cooked it in a very nice medium-high stainless steel pan, and then sliced it. This could be so good with also chicken or shrimp or fish. So, so, so delicious. This is actually the first time that I made coconut rice, and it's really good. Had so much flavor. The steak cooked normally how you'd normally cook steak because the mango was definitely not ready. It would have been ready maybe 2 days or so. It wasn't ripe. I added a little bit of sugar in it to just balance out the sourness because it was just a little bit too sour. This is so good. Gloomiest, rainiest day, which is why it's very dark in here. It is morning, it's not nighttime. I'm just having a vanilla yogurt for my workout just because I don't really like working out on an empty stomach. So my legs are so sore from my leg workout that I did 2 days ago. So sore, like everything. Calves, my calves are like never sore. Calves are sore. Like entire quad muscles, like from the knee to the outside to the middle to the... I do love this yogurt. Siggy's is my favorite, and this is the vanilla one. Breakfast. I had a great workout. I took a shower, got ready, and now I'm doing some laundry and I'm gonna make some breakfast. And I'm not gonna make anything very interesting or exciting. I'm gonna keep it really simple. This is pretty much what I've been eating recently quite often. I've made this breakfast a few times and I love it. It's so good and fresh and easy. And you have the option to make like 2-3 tacos or make one and then eat the rest as you want. You know, it's quite delicious. And the star of the show is the salad, which is why I'm not even mad that I made like probably as much as 2 people, if not 3 people would eat, but you cannot go wrong. This salad with everything and anything is gonna taste really good. It's raining so hard, like this whole morning. It's been raining since I woke up. I'm gonna finish breakfast, and I'm gonna get to work. Probably make a coffee until my meeting at 2:30. Got home. Yoni just finished making lunch. I picked up this package. I've been looking for a pair of running / sports sunglasses because you don't want to wear like your regular sunglasses if you're playing sports outside or if you're going on a run or playing tennis, you know, things like that. And I've wanted to invest in a good pair of running glasses for a while. So I got some from Oakley. And I think these ones are kind of versatile where like these could be good to wear like even on like a regular basis. What do you think? They kind of make me look bug-eyed, but I feel like these would be good to run with. They kind of come off my face a little bit though. This is V1, version number 1. These are more for vibes. They're not as much for performance. The problem with these types of glasses is like they're always very big for my head, and they like bounce around like this, you know? What do you think? I will be making lunch, and I'm actually very excited to make this lunch, even though I kind of don't have the equipment that you're supposed to have for this recipe, so I'm gonna make do, but I'm gonna be making zucchini fritters. I used to eat these as a kid all the time, or like a version of these. I top it with some creme fraiche and some smoked salmon. I am going to eyeball everything and see how it turns out, because one thing about me is I will not follow a recipe. And I think in cooking in general, it's always good to like be able to figure out a recipe on your own, like see a picture and figure out how can I make this work.
I was so happy to discover that I actually could grate with my mandolin. I'm telling you guys, I'm obsessed with my mandolin. You guys need to get one. But once I grated 2 full zucchinis, I added a good amount of salt, because basically what we want to do is let the zucchini start releasing water so that it can get nice and crispy in the fritters. So while those sat with some salt, I sliced all of our other ingredients like some green onion, some chives, and some dill. And for about 10-15 minutes, I let the zucchini sit, and that should be enough for the water to start releasing and for you to be able to squeeze the zucchini juice out. Don't be afraid to squeeze really, really hard, because there will be a lot of water that comes out of these boys. And then you basically combine all your other ingredients with the zucchinis in a nice big bowl. I used 1 singular egg and a bunch of different seasonings. One that I definitely think you should not skip out on is the paprika. It adds such a nice touch to the flavor. Everything else, you could probably just do salt and pepper if you wanted to. And then I eyeballed this, but I did, I think, about 3 to 5 tablespoons of flour. You can kind of add as you go and see how you like the consistency. It's not a perfect science, you guys. You kind of want to just get it looking like that. And in a nice preheated pan, I spooned little nests of zucchini. And you want to aim to make them a little bit thinner than I did, because I ended up trying to cook them for a little bit longer because I felt like the inside wasn't getting cooked all the way through. So on the thinner side will probably be better. And then once I plated them, I topped them with creme fraiche because I was being fancy. You could easily use sour cream or even yogurt probably. And then I just flaked some smoked salmon. I placed it right on top, a little extra dollop of creme fraiche, and some dill.
It's so dark in my apartment. I need to sit on the floor in the living room to get good lighting. But I'm so excited to dive into these. I put a little bit too much creme fraiche, I must admit. I was pretty heavy-handed, but I don't care because I think it's gonna be incredible. And also, if you don't have creme fraiche or you don't want to use that, you can use sour cream. You can probably use yogurt. It's just creme fraiche is a little bit more fancy and a little bit less sour than sour cream, and I think also a little bit fattier. So I'm so excited to get into this because it smelled divine. Here's the bite. Stop it right now. What? Okay, I'm gonna try one that has no salmon because I feel like the salmon does overpower it just a little bit. Wow. I actually didn't think it was gonna be this good. Perfect bite right here. You can see like all the layers. I'm not even exaggerating. I promise you. You guys have to make this. This is like the quintessential Romanian breakfast that you always have, except instead of sausages, you probably have some type of like cold cuts. So it'll either be like mushk filet, which is like, I don't even know how you say that in English. It's like it's my favorite cold cut when I go home. But either way, this is brekkie. It's Saturday. I slept in, got a good night of sleep. I was editing until late last night. My video is ready for tomorrow. I just have to make a thumbnail. Hey guys, so I'm on my walk here and it's so funny because I have such a hard time going on a walk and a walk only. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on a walk, but like, where am I going? In what direction? And then I was trying to find like an incentive or a point of direction. And I was like, okay, well, I have to do this return at this store that's kind of, you know, off of Atlantic Avenue. So then I just said, okay, well, I'm gonna make that my, you know, kind of point of direction. And I'm gonna return that. And they also have like coffee there. So I'm gonna grab some coffee and it's close by Dumbo-ish. So I'm gonna go to Dumbo from there. I think it's so funny the way that I can't manage to just like go on a walk to simply go on a walk. And that's something that I need to figure out internally, why I'm so like controlling of day-to-day things, or just I need everything to be like so planned out or figured out. I need to work on letting go of that a little bit. But I just got here to Salter House and I'm gonna return these shoes and then grab a coffee and walk to the Brooklyn Bridge Park and just like around the water. It's actually quite hot. It was cold and it's windy, so sometimes I'm glad that I have this on, but then right now I'm like overheating. But very beautiful walk, and I'm currently listening to a podcast from The Atlantic called how to age up. They have a reoccurring podcast from The Atlantic of different types of podcast series. So this is their newest one, and it's really good. Highly recommend. I'm going to the park. I put on my bathing suit because in New York, you don't have anywhere to tan, you don't have a beach, so you just go to the park and lay out with your goods out, you know what I mean? That's just what you do. I'm gonna stop by the farmer's market. I want to get that blanket. I don't know if it was the last video when I went to the park with my friend Taya, and she picked up a really nice picnic blanket from the farmer's market that's by the park. So I really want one too, because I only have like the blanket that is on the couch, which I don't think that I should put that on the floor outside. And then I have like a picnic blanket that I got on Amazon, but that one is like very serious in the sense that it's like a tarp, and then it's like a different type of material. Like, it's not really cozy. It's definitely much more of a picnic outside, and I want something that I can just like throw in my bag easily. I'm gonna bring my book. I'm still reading this. I am more than halfway through. I just haven't had a chance. I read a little bit yesterday, but I really want to just have like a good hour to just sit and read, if not even more. And I am bringing my sunscreen. This is the Supergoop Play. So this one is SPF 50 everyday lotion, and then this is the Elta MD. Very good right here. Also random necklace from when I went to the park the other day. This is from a brand called Nuri, N-U-R-I. It's very cute, very island girl. And hair clip, obviously, to put my hair up. I'm gonna fill up my water bottle. This is from Cezanne, by the way, this bag. So cute. It is the perfect summer beach bag. I love wearing it just like this, but you can also obviously wear it like this, or you can hold it, and it has some longer, thinner straps as well if you wanted to hang a little bit lower. And I really like the fact that the inside has this like material pocket that can also close like this, you know, so it keeps everything locked in there, because usually these like raffia bags are just the raffia, but it's nice that it has that little pocket in there. So I'm gonna fill up my water. My AirPods are dead, so I have been relying on wired headphones. Honestly, underrated. Keys, phone, lip balm, and I'm wearing my favorite set from Deji Studios, the one that I've showed you guys before with the shorts, and my favorite Birkies. This is the outfit. Let's go to the park.
I was craving a lot of vegetables for some reason, so I made a dense bean salad. I started out by making some sumac red onions, which is basically just thinly sliced red onion, good amount of salt, and some sumac. And you want to definitely use your hands here because you basically want the salt to break down the structure of the onion so it's a little bit less intense in flavor, and it also softens the crunch just a little bit. And while those onions sit, you prep the rest of your veggies. We're gonna slice up some parsley. I liked to use white beans in this and chickpeas. You can use about any bean that you want as long as you just rinse the beans. Very important step. Add all the ingredients in a bowl. Dress it however you like. I just did simple vinegar, a little bit of lemon, and some olive oil and salt. I do love using zest anytime I can, and it makes sense to me because it just adds that extra bite and that extra bit of flavor.
This salad is exactly what I need after being out in the sun and in the park and in the heat. Joke's on you, this is actually an onion salad, not a bean salad. It came together so fast, so easy, and definitely can make a lot of this and just have it in the fridge. Probably will get better with time, actually.
Brazilian vibe on.
And who is it? What's the name?
Gilson.
Gilson.
That sounds French.
Gilson. Gilson.
Oh, so I did say it right.
Gilson.
No,
Gilsons.
Gilsons. They are a band of 3 people, and they are the kids of one of the most famous Brazilian artists, Gilberto Gil. And they're amazing. We're very excited.
It's gonna be good. We just gotta walk through Times Square first.
Yeah, I gotta get through the chaos.
Caminadora sigue a